So, the Judge's show was canceled. So why was it canceled? Well, I think it's interesting. If you look at how he kind of kicked the show, or signed off on the show, if you look at that, he's basically giving a theme of what I was just talking about on the last show here, about how we need to get this idea out of our heads of the enemy being this, whether it's a North Korean soldier or a Taliban soldier. I mean, that's what we think of when we think of the enemy, and the Constitution, our freedom, protects us from the enemy. But what Napolitano got into in his show, and what he kind of signed off with, is that the enemy is right here, and they are just destroying our Constitution. And the clip that I have on my blog, conspiracyfactdaily.blogspot.com, Napolitano breaks down that the two parties are essentially just a show. I mean, if you're informed and you understand all this is nothing new to you, but this is a great starting point with people who don't understand why you are getting so engaged in truth, and why you care so much about the election. I mean, why don't you just stay home and watch football and CSI? Why don't you just drink beer all the time and waste your life away? Why do you care about that stuff? You can't have any effect on that, on politics and what's actually done in this country. But the same people, they do. They consider themselves, oh yeah, I'm more liberal. Oh yeah, I'm more conservative. They don't understand the two-party system, how it's just it's the same people. And I always use, and this is nothing original, I always use the boxing analogy. Throughout the history of boxing and organized crime, they have betting on boxing. There's a contest, just like an election. And the people behind the boxers have money on both sides. And so whoever wins, they win. It's really simple, and that's, in a nutshell, that's what has happened to our political process. And Napolitano breaks that down. But then he says, maybe there's an answer. Maybe Ron Paul is that answer. And next thing you know, the guy's show is gone. He doesn't have a show anymore. So, definitely something to think about there. But I encourage you and I urge you, I mean, if you're dealing with people, don't jump into the Rothschilds and Illuminati bloodlines and the Kabbalah and however deep you want to go. I mean, don't jump into that stuff. Just start from the beginning of where we are with the political process, and explain how that works, and then show how every president of late says one thing on the campaign, they get elected, and they do the exact opposite of what their quote-unquote party platform is. Obama is a champion of civil liberties, and he reenacts the Patriot Act. They have got nothing to say about that. They cannot, there's no argument. And, when Obama bombs Libya and continues the war in Afghanistan, he was the president of peace, and he was going to end the wars. That's just not the case. He goes against what he preached. And, the same can be said for all the Republican presidents also. And this is probably things that you already know, but just as a reminder, this is a great place to start with people, to wake people up, is to show that the two-party system is just that. It's just a big show. Alright, I think I really want to keep this down to 2 segments. If you want more, let me know. I really wanted to get into why I think the Rothschilds have their eye on Iran this year and get into some real specifics on the cancer. So we'll get into that next time. ConspiracyFactDaily.blogspot.com. Remember, truth has no agenda.